What's up, Texas? What a sea of fishing freaks here on beautiful Lake Fork. You guys ready for this? Man, we love coming here to Lake Fork, a legendary Lake Fork. No matter what time of year we come, no matter what the conditions are, two things show out every single time. This incredible fishery and the incredible fish in it, and the incredible folks that live in this part of the world. What a sea of fishing freaks, and I mean that with every bit of goodness, ladies and gentlemen, because this community, I mean, every time we come here, we learn over and over again just how incredible this community is. It's not just the marinas. It's not just the restaurants. It's every single business in this area supports this incredible sport, and I can't thank all of you enough. I mean, my first big event that I emceed in the United States was right here. And if it wasn't for Lake Fork, I probably wouldn't have this job. So every single time I come here, I can't help but thank all of you for helping this event and giving me a job anyways. You guys know how this works. We started with 92, 47 went out yesterday. Only 10 remain here today. One of them going to be crowned as our 5th Elite Series champion of the season. But before we weigh any fish, we need to bring out our weighmaster, our tournament director this week. Ladies and gentlemen, before I bring her out, you guys know how this works. I spin the towel. This is my pom-pom, okay? When you see this spin, I need you to get real loud. Let's try it. That was pretty good, but this is Championship Sunday. One more time, let me try it. All right, I need you to keep that noise coming. For our tournament director, let me hear it for LT, Lisa Talmadge. Lisa, what an incredible crowd, and you notice me and Lisa have worn these white Stetsons all week long, and that is with a great tribute to the great man that founded B.A.S.S, Mr. Ray Scott, passed away a little over a week ago, and we can't pay enough tribute to him. He is literally, as I always called him affectionately, the chicken that laid the egg. He created this sport, and without him, none of us have this passion that drives all of us. So let's hear it for Mr. Ray Scott, ladies and gentlemen. Lisa, what a week it has been, and it's going to be a fun one here.
Oh, yes, it's definitely going to be a fun weigh-in. Thank you guys so much for coming out and supporting B.A.S.S and the anglers. Thank you so much. But before we get started, I do want to thank our host, the Sabine River Authority, and Wood County, because we couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much. Also, yes, they have a great facility here. Are there any judges that are out in the crowd right now? We started with 92 of them, so thank you. Let's give all the judges a round of applause. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you. And also Tim Cook, our judge coordinator. He's been doing this for as long as you have.
Since the very start?
Yes. So thanks, Tim. I want to thank the Texas Park and Wildlife and also the Lake Fork Sportsmanship Authority for taking all the overs out and taking care of them for us. And also, thanks to all the B.A.S.S staff and the volunteers, because we couldn't do this without you. It takes a lot of people to put this event on, so thank you.
Are we ready to get this going? Are you guys ready to get this going? All right, here's one of the coolest things about this event. You've been able to watch it all weekend long on FS1, as you always can. Elite Series event starting at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, Saturday and Sunday. You can watch B.A.S.S live on FS1, and this is going to be showing all around the world. We need to show people that this part of the world is a good place to go and have a good time. We got cameras all over here. I need 30 seconds of absolute insanity. If you do it right, then we're going to bring the anglers through. Deal? Okay, 1, 2, 3. I think we're ready. Are you guys ready? No. It's Championship Sunday. Are you ready? through our very first angler. All right, anytime you want. Just turn it on whenever you're ready. Rolling through all the way from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He is a Bassmaster Classic qualifier. An 8-time he's been in the top 10. Let's welcome him. 2 weeks ago he got married. Let's hear it for him, Derek Hudnall. Derek, you started today with 70 pounds even. You need 18 pounds even to take the lead right now. 5 fish all alive. Here's what he's got. 22 pounds, 4 ounces. And Derek Hudnall, you are leading this event. Obviously, a lot more anglers left to go. But, man, you went out in a great spot. You said it this morning, nowhere to drop and everywhere to gain. And I think you did your job today. Probably got yourself a few points.
Yeah, I got myself a few points. I mean, Lake Fork is... wow. I mean, I cannot, this needs to be a poster child for the rest of the country because this is one of the most heavily pressured lakes in America, and it keeps reloading and keeps reloading and keeps reloading. I mean, I look forward to coming to Lake Fork every year. I have good history here. But, not just the fishing, but the people, too. Everybody's fantastic, and I could not believe, I really, every time that I come, I can't believe how respectful everybody is on the water, from guides to locals fishing. I had a few spots this week that I'd pull up, and there was somebody there, and they just left and let me have it. And I got my buddy that's in the crowd here. I say my buddy, but he's followed me for a couple of years. He lives back there where I've kind of been my bread and butter since I've been here. And so I think there he is right there. But great people, great fishery. Man, I needed this top 10. It's always great to be here on a Sunday, and maybe I'll hold on to that hot seat for about 32 and a half seconds.
I mean, it's the Yeti hot seat. It's a very comfortable hot seat.
I mean, that thing looks nice.
It does. You're going to get to experience it. Anyone you want to thank before you load the hot seat?
Man, everybody. I mean, my smoking hot wife back at home. I mean, she's driving home from the beach. I just got married 3 weeks ago in the Dominican, so and then we got home, and then I came to Lake Fork, and she went back to the beach. So she's been watching on live, and she's watching driving home right now. So, man, Skeeter, Yamaha, everybody that's supported me for, through my career now 4 years running. And you guys know we dealt with some pretty serious winds the last couple of days, and every cameraman and marshal looked at me and said, my gosh, I'm glad we're in a Skeeter. I mean, they're set up right here, guys. Make sure you go test drive one if you have not. I mean, everybody from Louisiana State Parks to St. Croix Rods, some of the best people in the business, to Missile Bait, Spro, Gamakatsu, everybody that supported me. Because in this industry, if we don't have support from our partners and fans, there's just no way we can absolutely make it. But love this place, and thanks for having me, and can't wait to get back next year, guys. Thank y'all.
You're not going anywhere. Going to load our Yeti hot seat. I think he'll last longer than 32 and a half seconds. I mean, it's going to take me that long to get my wind together to call the next angler. Enjoy your seat. Good. Kick back. Relax. Let's roll through our next angler. He's an 11-time Bassmaster Classic qualifier, 20 Bassmaster top 10s, 3 times he's been a second-place finisher, but he is an Elite Series champion from Brookville, Indiana, Dollar Bill Owen. Proud member of Team Express Yamaha, started the day with 71 pounds and an ounce. Needs 21.4 to take the lead away from Derek Hudnall. 5 fish here today, 25 pounds, 11 ounces. It sounds like Derek Hudnall's math wasn't that far off, but thank you very much. Congrats on a great finish. And, Bill, you said it this morning. A lot to gain here and very little to lose. And, man, it seemed like this weather kind of fired up that shallow bite when I was watching.
I was pretty, impressed with the shallow bite. I told you that earlier in the week. The water temperatures were 80 in the high 80s and 90s, and I just wouldn't expect those fish to still be up there. But a lot of those fish that I've been catching up, they're shallow or pre-spawn fish. They're not even spawned out yet. I think all week I've caught 2 fish that have been laid out. So for all you that are going back out on Lake Fork to go fishing, the shallow bite is tremendous. it was fun this week just to get to fish in my style and my comfort zone. You know what I mean? Taking that Express and that Yamaha and literally banging through the trees. And, you know, I caught every fish this week flipping a Lure Parts Online Signature Series, my Signature Series flipping jig in a 3/8, and green pumpkin and black and blue was the color. Heavy loose flipping rod, 20-pound Seagar and Viz-X, and just having a blast. I mean, catching, you know, most of my fish been in 3 foot of water or less. But like I said, it was just a fun week. Kind of Lake Fork's always been my nemesis. You know, it just always gets me when I come here, and it feels good to get a little redemption. I'd like to thank everybody that came out here to support me. I'd like to thank everybody that supports me, you know, through my whole career, my family, my sponsors. And, you know, every day that I make the second day or the second day or third day cut, which is on Saturday, I pick a kid out of the crowd to get a Bassmaster membership. You know, we've all tributed this week to Ray Scott and the things that he done and the dreams that he had. And when I was a little kid, I had a dream to stand on this stage, and Bassmaster Magazine will help you do that. So like I said, anytime I make the third day cut, I pick a kid out of the crowd. And I should have done that yesterday, but I'm going to do it today. And you, buddy, right there in that blue sweatshirt right there, that blue shirt, you right there, you're going to get a Bassmaster membership, buddy. Just see my wife right there. You know, when I was his age, it was like somebody was always taking time out of their schedule to teach me about hunting and fishing and how to do things the right way. And had they not done that, I wouldn't be standing on this stage. So anytime I can give back, bud, I hope you enjoy that. And maybe someday you'll be standing on this stage. But once again, I want to thank everybody for coming out, and we'll see you at the next one.
Before you load our Yeti hot seat, I do need to talk to you about something. One of the amazing things about Bass Live that I love is it shows how amazing this sport is, the highs and the lows. I mean, it shows everything. I mean, there's no sport out there that you have to focus for 8-9 hours in a day, and it exposes everything. But once in a while, it stops being broadcast at the end and something happens. And I heard that your big fish, your 613, that you literally almost ended up swimming with the fishes. Tell me this story.
So, you know, it's, you know how it is. When you're out there on the water, your adrenaline's going, you run till the very end. You try to make magic happen, you know. And I knew today I didn't have a shot to win just because I'd have had to catch 175 pounds or whatever it was to try to win. And I just went out and fished and tried to make good TV, you know, and just my last fish with 30 minutes to go, I pitch in this little stake bed. It's got PVC everywhere. And, you know, like I said, I've been catching a lot of my fish in 2 foot of water. And when I pitch it in there and I go to lift up on it, shit's moving off. And I set the hook, and she wants to go out the other side. Once again, thank God for 20-pound and Viz-X. But she does like 75 wraps around it. She comes up, she noses into the top of it. I'm like, well, heck, this is a gift from God. I got you. So I start easing up there. And the next thing I know, she goes crazy. And she's twisting and wrapping and jumping, and I'm laying on my belly, and I'm breaking PVC off and throwing it over my head. And I'm like, I can see you, and I can't get to you. I can't touch you. Please let me touch you. And I finally get my hand in her mouth, and my hand comes back out, and get my hand back in her mouth and break the line as I pull her up, and it's my big fish of the day. So something to be said about trusting in your equipment and being able to know when you make those pitches that there's a really good chance you're going to get that fish out of there. And I might have broke a couple ribs, but I'll get my wife to give me a massage or something later.
Yeah, and it'll make a great viral video, I'm sure, later on this week. Let's load our Yeti hot seat. Let's hear it for Dollar Bill Owen, ladies and gentlemen. And let's roll through our next angler. All the way from the Great White North. He is the very first Canadian to win an FLW Tour event. The very first Canadian to win a Bassmaster Elite Series event. From Peterborough, Ontario, Canada, Chris Johnston. Started the day with 71 pounds, 3 ounces. He's got 5 fish, needs 25 pounds, 10 ounces, 20 pounds, 15 ounces. With 92.2, you move into third place currently, and top 10 finish here on Lake Fork. And one more stop in the south, and everything's north from there. So where it gets a whole lot easier on you.
It does get a little easier. The waves might get a little bigger, and the weather might not be as hot, but those smallmouth, they always eat. So I'm looking forward to going north and having some fun. But I had a lot of fun this week. I'm not going to lie. Where else can you go catch largemouth, catch 20 pounds, and fall in the standings? I don't think there's anywhere else in the country you can do it. So you guys got a great fishery. Look after it for sure.
How did you catch them this week?
I did a little bit of everything, but most of them came on a big worm. I'm throwing it on like a 7.5 flipping 6, 17-pound Seagar Tatsu, and just slowly dragging it. It's kind of painful at times, and we joke about it, but you almost should be hung over to do this type of fishing, because the slower you actually drag that worm, and if you're half asleep, maybe that's Lee's trick. I don't know. He's been out late with all his buddies. I see them out here, and the slower you can drag that worm, the more bites you get. And I also threw a football jig a bit, and today I changed up a bit, and I went shallow, and I did a little flipping, and one or two got away from me, but it didn't matter. I couldn't catch these guys. I had too much ground to make up, but still had fun. And just like Bill said, this place is awesome, and anytime you get to go fishing on Lake Fork's a treat, and to make the top 10's a bonus.
Great finish this week, another great finish and some great points. Let's hear it for him. And let's roll through our next angler. Fishing his very first championship Sunday. A former San Francisco Giants, a draft pick, now making his living here on the Bassmaster Elite Series. This is his second season. He is a Bassmaster Classic qualifier from Georgia. Get loud for Mark Fraser. 72 pounds and 8 ounces as of this morning, needs 24.5 to take the lead. 5 all alive. 26 pounds, 9 ounces. You're our brand new leader, and that's the good news. The bad news is everybody talks about the Century Club. You've got a total weight of 99 pounds and 1 ounce. There's been less than 50 Century belts ever given out, and you were that close to it. But you're leading the tournament. I mean, you can't be too disgruntled, can you?
I'm not disappointed, and I won't be leading the tournament very long. I can tell you that. But I wanted the century mark, I won't lie. And to be that close, you got to be proud of yourself, but it's going to eat me up, you know. And I fished my heart out. I mean, I don't know how many casts I made on boulders midday, and I could see them. I was using my active target at Lawrence, and I could see the fish sitting there, and I only got 5 or 6 of them to bite, but they were good ones. I caught a 9 and a 6.5. So if I got one more to bite, I would have done it, man. And I don't know, man. I had some stuff in the morning. I was running with a topwater and a worm and a Spro square bill, and it would give me a good 18, 20 pounds, and I'm thankful for that. That gave me my cushion to go out midday and fish deep, and I'm not getting that many bites, but they are good ones. So I believe that, I don't know how them guys are catching them, but I believe that they're really going to move out here soon, and it's going to be a fun lake, but we made it look fun. So
it was a lot of fun watching it go down, and it seemed like the weather today even made that morning bite even better for some of you guys.
Yeah, what's weird is I thought it was going to be a reaction bite longer, but it wasn't. The weather looked like it was going to be really good, but I ended up having to slow down. I don't know if you guys watched, but I had to slow down and throw a worm up there, and man, it was like every cast for a while, so it was a blast. I won't lie.
Well, you have a great tournament. You're leading this, and anyone you want to thank before you unseat Dollar Bill over there and take the Yeti hot seat?
I just want to thank all my sponsors. I wouldn't want to try to do this without them guys, and they know who they are. And my family, we had a little girl 2 weeks ago, and it's tearing me up. I can't wait to get home to see them. So.
Hardest thing to leave, but the best thing to come home to. Let's hear it for your tournament leader. With that, we say goodbye to Dollar Bill, and we say hello to Mark Fraser, and he loads our Yeti hot seat. And let's not hold back. Let's roll through our next angler. He's a 4-time Forest Wood Cup qualifier, a 3-time Bassmaster Classic qualifier. This is his 5th Bassmaster Top 10 from North Carolina, the Baby Shark, Shane LeHew. Started the day with 72 pounds, 15 ounces. Needs 26.3 to take the lead. 5 fish here today. 27 pounds, 10 ounces. He is your brand new leader with 100 pounds and 9 ounces. Our very first century belt of this tournament. And man, there's less than 50 anglers in the history of bass that have achieved a century belt. So you're not only leaving this event, but you're a Bassmaster Century Club member. How cool is that?
That's pretty awesome. I mean, that's, when we come to lakes like this, that's a goal in the back of your head. You're like, man, I want to catch 100 pounds because it's very, very possible every time we come here. I was struggling today. I would say today was actually my worst fishing day, but my best weight day. I caught an 8.5 at like 1 o'clock from 9:30 till about 12:45. I didn't catch anything hardly. And I was like, man, I got to figure something out. And I was like, I'm going to go flip some trees, try to catch some 4-pounders, maybe get back into the groove. And I was at, and I lost one, and I caught, a 3-pound keeper. And then all of a sudden I panned out with the live scope, my Garmin live scope, and there was a laydown on this point in about 9 foot of water, and I saw one big blob, and I took a 10-inch power worm, I pitched it over there, and I saw her rise up, and I saw my line just lay slack on the water. I was like, uh-oh. I cracked it, and it was jumping out there, and I landed it, and I was like doing the math in my head, I'm like, what do I need to get to 100? And then I figured it up. I'm like, man, I'm like 6 ounces short. Like 3 flips later on a tree, I caught a 312, and that gave me 100 pounds. So I was pretty happy when that happened. I've had a great week here at Lake Fork. This place is awesome. I love it every time we come here. I want to thank my family, my sponsors, my grandparents. They're huge supporters of mine. I couldn't do this without them. My dad, my mom, my wife back home, Abu Garcia, Berkeley, all those guys. I caught most of my fish on a Berkeley cane walker and just a green pumpkin 10-inch power worm. You're in Texas, you got to have a 10-inch power worm tied on. I appreciate it, Lake Fork. Thank you, guys. Love y'all.
Before you load the hot seat, I got to ask you this because that bait keeps coming up. I mean, you're not the only angler. The cane walker has been a big bait in this event. Why?
It's that shad spawn deal that happens every year here. Early in the morning, I was catching them on that. At the first 2 days of the tournament, I really blistered them all day on it. I didn't have to put it down. And then the last 2 days, I don't know if it was the weather or the clouds. I think the clouds actually hurt the topwater bite for me. So I actually had to, get out that big 10-inch power worm and drag it around. But yeah, it definitely has to do with those shad. A lot of these fish aren't just eating shad. There actually is a big gizzard shad spawn that goes on these points as well. So I think that cane walker imitates that perfectly.
Worked out good for you, a Century Club member. And going to load our hot seat with that. We say goodbye to Mark Fraser and your brand new leader, Shane LeHew. And let's not hold back. Let's roll through our next angler. Making his very first Championship Sunday appearance. He is our reigning Elite Series Rookie of the Year, a 2022 Bassmaster Classic qualifier. Get loud from Alabama, Josh Strasner. What a day he had yesterday. 28 pounds in like 25 minutes. Had 74.12 going in today. Needs 25.14. 5 all alive. 23 pounds, 2 ounces. Moves into third place with 97.14. But, man, whenever you can catch close to 100 pounds of bass in 4 days, way in front of this sea of fishing fans, and life is good.
I tell you what, this is what it's all about. Everybody coming out and, having a good time, cheering everybody on. So everybody's, the whole bass fishing world is just, big family, So it's pretty cool. Thanks for everybody coming out. I had a great week. I don't have any regrets. I actually had a terrible practice. I was worried about just catching a limit every day. And wound up, coming back and being in top 10, I just really can't believe it. I fell short of my goal, I really wanted to break that 100 pounds, but it's just so hard to do, but I come close. But I got to thank my family. They text me every night. They just want me to do good everywhere I go. So all my family and friends. I got to thank all my sponsors: Phoenix, Strike King, Lew's. The key thing for me this week was a Humminbird Mega 360. Like that 30 pounds I caught yesterday, I rode up to a place in my first rotation of my 360, I could see all of them sitting on one little spot right there, and it was every cast. And that's the kind of fishing I really like doing. And so hats off to Humminbird for that, and everybody else. Like I said, Phoenix, Strike King, Lose, Bass. Man, it's just been a great week, and I hope and pray we come back to this great lake next week or next year. So.
You guys want us to come back to Lake Fork? I'm pretty sure our anglers want to come back here, and I'm pretty sure we'll be back here in the future.
I hope so. This lake's incredible. I wish my home state, Alabama, would do this too. What Texas is doing, it's unbelievable. Just take care of everything, and hopefully we'll be back.
Congrats on a great week. Let's hear it for them, ladies and gentlemen. Baby Shark, comfortable?
Not terribly comfortable, no.
The chair's comfortable, though.
I need like a pillow, maybe a blanket, kick back. Maybe Lee can bring me one of those cold snacks that he has.
It may be a bad day to be a bush light, I think is what he said.
I think it's going to be a real bad day to be a bush light.
We'll find out. Let's roll through our next angler. He is a former Bassmaster Opens Angler of the Year, a Bassmaster Open champion. He won the first Elite Series event he ever fished, a two-time Bassmaster Classic qualifier from South Carolina. Let me hear it for Brian New. Do you always carry flannel blankets in your boat?
I mean, my man asked for a blanket. I got him a blanket.
What has been going on in that boat of yours?
Not enough bass catching, but we did pretty good. 4 days in a row we didn't suck, so that was pretty awesome. I definitely didn't.
Let's figure out what you weighed first.
It wasn't enough.
Well, they don't know what you weighed. 75 pounds, 5 ounces coming in today. Needs 25.5. 5 fish here today. 23 pounds, 9 ounces. You already knew that. 98 pounds, 4 ounces. Not going to take the lead. But great tournament. You got to be happy.
For sure, yeah. I mean, this is not my favorite lake in the country. I've been pretty verbal about that. Don't get me wrong. It's got great big ones, and it's got a lot of great big ones. If you catch a bass, there's a really good chance it's a great big one. But they're the most pressured fish in the country. Awesome fishery, but I don't like it.
Well, I'm kind of happy you didn't take the lead, to be honest. This would have been uncomfortable.
Well, that's okay. I mean, but hey, awesome week. I didn't have a good practice. I really only found 2 places in practice, and I started on one, and I ain't had a bite on it until about an hour and a half ago, and I caught almost everything I weighed in on it. I pretty much fished offshore all week, rotating through 1,200 baits. But I caught mostly everything. I caught some on a hair jig, discontinued Zoom swimmers, a hollow belly swim bait, a crankbait. What else?
You said 1,200 and you've given me 3.
Well, I threw a bunch. A Magnum Zoom, a Magnum trick worm from Zoom on a crawl ball shaky head from Greenfish was pretty much saved my tail the last 2 days. And, I rotated through a lot of stuff. I just couldn't get them going. That's pretty much what I caught most of them on. So, 98.14, can you convert that to hundreds?
I'm from Canada. That's about 3,000 pounds Canadian.
Well, it's 98.80 in hundreds.
Okay.
I weighed in 98.80 before, and I really want to break 100 one day.
It's all bad news up here for you. Don't like the lake, not happy. Would you like to come back here again?
I guess for a fun fishing trip.
You see all those guys dressed like Lee Livesay over there? I mean, not only are they going to meet you at the monkey bars and beat you up after this weigh-in, but I need to speak on Lee's behalf because he did say earlier this week, he said you guys had words after the Santee event, and you were up in Santee, and he said, wait till we get to Fork, and I'll show you a real lake. Are you willing to concede at this point now that we have, 4 anglers left to weigh in, and we already have a century belt here?
This ain't half the lake Santee is.
You better get out of here.
Hey, it's good. It's really, really good. But come on back to South Carolina.
We have needed villains in bass fishing for a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Brian New.
Hey, I had to give my man a blanket. We go way back.
You're going to need that blanket to hide on your way to your vehicle.
I can run fast.
Get out of here. Do you like Lake Fork?
I love it every time we come.
Let's hear it for him, ladies and gentlemen. I guess this isn't really my job, but everybody all together, let's boo Brian New. I mean, he asked for it. The closer this sport gets to wrestling, the happier I get. Let's go through our next angler. He's a 19-time Bassmaster Classic qualifier, a Bassmaster Open winner, a 2-time Progressive Bassmaster Angler of the Year from Gunnersville, Alabama, the incomparable G-Man, Gerald Swindle. 80 pounds, 14 ounces as of this morning, needs 1912 to take the lead. 5 fish here today. 21 pounds, 4 ounces. 21-4, a brand new leader and another member of the Century Club with 102 pounds, 2 ounces. G, at the end of this, I need you to give Brian New some kind of how to get the audience on your side lessons, but we'll deal with that after. But I am so happy to see you in the Century Club because I've been checking Bass Track hour after hour for the last little, till a few minutes ago, you were at 99 pounds, 15 ounces. But obviously you made a call somewhere along the way and it worked out.
That's like somebody, I caught one that weighed like 613, and I'm like, man, I broke the Century Club, didn't I? He sat there for a minute, and old Bob, I patted him on the butt yesterday, and when he smiled at me, so I've been scared of him ever since. I did that on the second day. I patted that guy on the butt, and he jumped, so me and him still cool. But Bob, he leaned back, smiled. I said, hey. And Bob just stared at me. He said, no, you got 99-15. I said, that's like you just kicked my dog and kissed my wife at the same time. I said, don't worry, we're going to get this. And like 4 casts later, I jumped off a 3 or 4 pounder, and it was like the only fish I jumped off all week. And I'm like, boy, this is going to really go down not good, like eating that gravel on a bicycle if I don't catch one. And, dude, I started, and I mean, I grinded, I was digging. And I come running back in. I had like 12 minutes left to fish, and I seen a dock over here by the ramp. And I just like, my gut instinct said, run over there. And I run over there, and I was like 3 foot deep. Picked my flipping stick up, swam my jig down the side of it, caught a 411. I said, you know what? I may not have nothing for Lee Livesay, but I broke that 100-pound mark. I didn't want to come up 1 ounce short. Now, what you don't do is say you don't like Lake Fork or Lee Livesay. And I've been studying Texas all day. I said, you know, a lot of people's always told me don't mess with Texas, and I understand why now, because y'all put Mother Nature on them, son. Now, I'll just tell you what y'all do. Because the wind blows around here like a van load of politicians all day long. It comes every direction, left, right, down the middle. I've hit stumps, ping pong, my old bad knees. They popped and creaked and wobbled around there. The guy said, you all right? And I said, do I look all right? I said, I had an uncle who was a drunk. His name Earl. And I said, lady, today, I'm Earl. I'm just bouncing around on them stumps, you know. You think you're going to make a flip and you hit one of them stumps, and then you need a dude wipe, and you got to stop for a minute. He said, I said, dude, that scared me. I mean, and I ate some jalapenos, so I just ain't feeling good, you know. Y'all act like y'all ain't never done that, but y'all never went fishing and come in with one sock. You'll understand why I'm sponsored by Dude Wipes. Yeah. I was married for 7 years. My wife thought I wore one sock hunting forever. She said, does that 1 foot not get cold? I said, it's a long story, honey. And then she seen a T-shirt with no sleeve in it. She said, I'm starting to figure you out, honey. I said, yep. You've never lived. You've been 30 foot high in a millennium tree stand, and it hit like that. You look like a gray squirrel coming all the way down at bark, just flying. Oh! You're like, well, I'm done with this hunting spot. Well, that's kind of how I'm about some of them places I fished. Lake Fork is a great lake. I'm going to have to disagree with Santee Cooper's good about 16 minutes a year. And if you hit that 16-minute bite window when every fishing lake's on bed, it's awesome. If you ever go there any other time, you're going to think it's the Dead Sea. Now, it does have harder stumps than y'all got, believe it or not. I done about $15,000 worth of damage up there, and here I'm at 11. So right now, Santee's leading in destruction of fiberglass. You know, I'm going to need to get mine fixed up. But it's a wonderful crowd to see everybody come out. It's cool to be in a town and be in a race to win a tournament like this, chasing somebody with such a fan base on this place like Livesay. It just, I get caught up in it. You know, I respect Lee as an angler a whole bunch, and BP also, but to see the family and all that, you like, it just gets that energy up. You're like, these guys love fishing, and that's what it's all about. When you can fish at home with that kind of support, it doesn't get any better. Shout out to all you guys for hanging out with Lee. I don't know if I'll ever beat him here. I fished 31 tournaments here. It's the first time I ever made the top 10, so I'd like to tell y'all I'm going to come back next year and rail him, but I usually don't, so don't put me on your fantasy team till y'all talk to Lulu. Thanks again for having us, Lake Fork's been great to us. Me and Lulu headed home. Just glad we got over the 100-pound mark.
Before you load our Yeti hot seat, I got to let you know there's been less than 50 anglers. 50 times there's been a century belt in Bassmaster competition. You've done it not once, but twice. A 2-time Century Club member, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for Gerald Swindle. And with that, we better... Oh, he took his blanket, right? Yeah, his blankie. He's going to need that, trust me.
Wait on that young guy there. What? Let's let him sit out there. His wife's about to have a baby. If we sit here long enough, maybe the dinger will go off and he'll have to go home, and, you know, might move up a spot, you know. Somebody call Tiffany, tell her to do some calisthenics. Come on.
Let's roll through our next angler. He is a former Bass Nation national champion, an 11-time Bassmaster Classic qualifier, a former Progressive Bassmaster Angler of the Year, a 6-time Bassmaster winner, and your current leader in the Progressive Bassmaster Angler of the Year battle from Rathdrum, Idaho, the prodigy Brandon Palaniuk. Started the day with 84 pounds, 7 ounces, needs 17-12. 17 pounds, 11 ounces. He needed 17-12 to take the lead. 17-11 means you are tied with Gerald Swindle.
Daddy's lap. I just sit on Daddy's lap. Oh my gosh. You guys are awesome. My face hurts from listening to Gerald weigh in. I need to start weighing in before him because my cheeks hurt from laughing so hard. I was fishing. I was starting every morning just right down here by the dam, and I came back at the end of the day, and there was about 40 bass sitting on the place. And I had 20 minutes left, and you guys had a concert going on over here screaming your heads off, and I was like, I need to catch an over, so I got something to bring in because I want to hear them cheer like that again because you guys were awesome. I was like, that gave me a little bit extra motivation. So, I mean, I didn't catch them today like I needed to, but what an incredible week. You know, I got a dirty 30. Broke the Century Club, and took over the AOI lead. Nobody tell me how many points. I don't want to know. I'm assuming it's 1 point. That's all I'm going to assume. But really my whole goal this year so far has been to catch them good enough so that if I have to miss Pickwick because I have a baby on the way, I can still qualify for the Classic. So I just keep trying to catch them and keep trying to catch them to make up for it.
There's only one guy that can break this tie. We'll see how it all works out, but I don't know how we'll have a fish off or an arm wrestle. What would you like to do? Like paper, rock, scissors? Or...
Probably a race.
Who's taller, he says.
Probably a race, because I could slide into first base between them knees if his ankles were touching. I mean, we got to do something where I got a little bit of an advantage. Rock, paper, scissors.
All right.
I mean, like we can't just share the chair?
Oh, you can, sure. Do you want him sitting on your knee? Come on. Go sit on Daddy's knee. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, the Yeti hot seat is a very well-built chair. Make sure to check out the Yeti chairs. They're nice and comfortable. You guys can sit together.
I mean, just bring Lee up, and then we don't have to sit here and make this awkward very long.
You guys
Standing too close to me at the urinal. I'm feeling awkward right now. Just bring Lee in. Keep your eyes on the road. Y'all stay in your lane. Come on. Lee, come on in. We welcome Lee Livesay there. Come on in there, Mr. Michelob Ultra Busch Light. Come on.
Are you guys ready for our final angler? Let's roll him through. a two-time Bassmaster Classic qualifier, 10 Bassmaster top 10s, a three-time Bassmaster winner, weighted the third biggest bag in Bassmaster history right here last year. He is the reigning and defending Lake Fork champion from Longview, Texas, Livesay. Started the day with 87 pounds, 15 ounces. Needs 14 pounds, 4 ounces. 25 pounds, 12 ounces. 25-12 with 113 pounds and 11 ounces. He goes back to back and becomes a 4-time Bassmaster winner. That is what makes this sport so special right there. Let's hear it for sportsmanship, ladies and gentlemen. A 113 pounds and 11 ounces. Lee Livesay, you said it best on this stage yesterday. Yesterday you said, man, I told my camera guy Jake, I get it done, but it's never pretty. And man, the fish gods tested you today when it all was on the line. It did not go perfect, did it?
No, and it never seems like it does with me. It's crazy. Man, I struggled. You know, everybody saw it, I'm sure. And the first 3 fish I hooked today, I lost. And, you know, I know a lot of places on this lake. I do, to look. And I ran 50 or 60 of them a day and never found a new group of fish. Like nothing to go to even get a bite. And I caught every fish I caught today and every one but one yesterday on a spot that I found the first day of practice that I've never even looked at it in my life. And I've licked every piece of water on this lake a million times over. And that's what's crazy is just, yeah, it's insane. You know, Jake already made me cry like really bad. So I'm hoping I can make it through this one without crying. I mean, look at this crowd. It's amazing. It's Lake Fork, Texas, baby.
To go back-to-back on your home fishery. I mean, it's so rare to win at home, but to go back-to-back and both times obviously over 100 pounds, I mean, that just is the standard that Lake Fork sets.
Yeah, I mean, not even talking about Lake Fork, man. This week is the most stressful week ever for me. Everybody knows, my wife knows it, all my friends know it. It's just, it's a lot, you know, being here because I want to do good for every single person in this crowd that's supporting me and that's on my team. You know, friends, family, sponsors, everybody, you know, and everybody out there watching on TV too. It's just, this place is special to a lot of people that have been there to Lake Fork their whole lives, you know, but it's special to me because it's home. And it's hard to win on your home lake, I'll tell you that right now. And man, I'm a very blessed man. That's all I can say. I mean, my whole family's right there, and I've got all kinds of friends and Jake, my cameraman, he's like, you know, he's my freaking best friend. It's crazy. You know, we're in a dogfight together, and just to have a family like Bassmasters and everybody out there watching and supporting, can't thank you all enough. You know, my sponsors, y'all know, you know, I owe you big time, but man, I'm here for the people. I'm the people's champ is what I need to be, not the marshal, because I'm here for y'all guys.
You truly are the people's champ, and you represent, I mean, from the first time we came here when you were on the Elite Series, I was blown away by the amount of people that stop at gas stations everywhere. Everybody in this area is a Lee Livesay fan, and it's, man, you joined. If you weren't on it last year, you are truly on the Mount Rushmore of Lake Fork legends at this point right now. And to say that on a lot of lakes, that's not saying much. But this Lake Fork, I mean, the legends that have come to this body of water, man, and you were right there with them. And you ready to make this official?
I am. I think they're probably sold out of Busch Light for the next 3 or 4 counties if I had to guess. So let's get this rolling. We might have to drive somewhere to get it.
Well, let's bring out from Simms. This is the Simms Bassmaster Elite. Let's bring out Patterson Lee to do the handoff right now and make this official. The Simms Bassmaster Elite at Lake Fork belongs to Lee Livesay, 113 pounds and 11 ounces. Unbelievable! Lee Livesay is a Bassmaster Elite Series champion one more time, a 4-time Bassmaster winner. And I know you didn't do it by yourself, Lee. You did it with your tremendous family. Let's have a man with all his trophies here right now, ladies and gentlemen. A brand new baby, a beautiful new wife, and his 4th Bassmaster win. Your 4th Bassmaster win in as many years. You've got 3 Elite Series wins in the last 3 years. And above all those trophies is your real trophy right here.
Yeah, that's Lane Livesay. I'm not going to Lion King her like I did at Ross Barnett the other week, but she's been to 2 weigh-ins and she's got 2 trophies. So we need to keep that going. You know, this is my world right here, my family and this baby girl, man. They've changed my life. You know, I can't thank them enough. I'm in a good place in life right now. I can't thank everybody enough. It's awesome.
It is awesome, and that's everything the life is all about right there. Lake Fork, let me hear it one more time for Lee Livesay, your Simms Bassmaster Elite Lake Fork champion. 113 pounds, 11 ounces. Unbelievable! £113, 11 ounces. Lee Livesay goes back to back on this legendary fishery, and we end up with 4 century belts here today. And I think Brian knew that little argument you had, it's been settled at this point. Would you agree?
Lake Fork is king. Let's come back next year.
If Lake Fork is the king, he's got the crown. One more time, let's hear it for the unbelievable Lee Livesay. We started with 92, 47 went out yesterday, 10 went out today, and now there is one. That one is the 5th Bassmaster Elite Series champion of 2022, Lee Livesay, a Lake Fork legend once again, 113 pounds, 11 ounces. Unbelievable!